Good morning, everyone. We are headed to Run Resort and Campground in New Holland, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I know they've added a whole bunch of different things since the last time I visited here, probably about 2 years ago, but I know they have a lot of cabins that they've added, so I'm excited to see the new resort area. So let's go check this out and we'll take a tour of the whole property, check out their amenities, and see what Red Run Campground has to offer. The road we're coming in on is Red Run Road, and we turn right here onto Martin Church Road. Now you'll notice to the right there is, I'll show you, I don't know if you can see it in the drive, but as we're pulling in to the right there is a Lancaster County covered bridge. Now it's not open to walk through, but you can see the bridge still standing. It's in need of repair, but they're just using it for storage. But it's still cool to have a Lancaster County covered bridge right here at the campground. The office where you check in is directly in front of us, and here's a look at the Red Run Campground map. So let's start our tour. Right here is the office where you check in and also the camp store, and there's also restrooms and a shower right there to the left as well. And then we'll walk around to the front of the office and store. They sell some firewood and fire starter right here too. There's the bundles of firewood, and then over here in this little cabinet is fire starter. So pretty cool. And then over here, look at these nice pools. And they're, it's April still here, and the pools are open, and they're really nice. There's two pools, and I think one is like a kid's pool. I think maybe that's the one to the left, and then the other pool for swimming is to the right. Here's a closer look at each of them. So nice spots to hang out and swim and lounge. And it overlooks this really awesome pond area. There's some of the cabins. We'll take a walk around this loop. Over here, there's some seating right there to the right outside on a deck. And then look at this. They have these really large wagons to transport your luggage and supplies. So if you need one of them, they have them right here, right by the office in this building here by the lake. So look how beautiful this lake or pond, I guess it's technically a pond, but it's a big pond. This is great. Absolutely beautiful with the fountains going, and then all of these cabins surround this pond area. And I know there's some sites over on the other side too for RVs. So this style here, this is the first set of cabins that you come to, and they're really nice. They have nice seating and a fire pit. They all have these nice front porches that you can see the water and, really cute lighting. I like these a lot. I really like these glamping cabins. I think they're so cool. And what a relaxing view to look out at. Wake up and have your coffee and have this pond view and listen to the fountain and stuff. There's the other set of cabins down that way. We'll take a look at them too. And here's just a close look at the fire pit and the seating area for these first set of cabins. Really nice. These are really nice. I would live here. I think these are awesome. Right through there, that's the other loop. There's the RV and tent sites, and they also have a couple cabins over there too, which we'll take a look at. And check this out. Here is hot tub number 3. How nice. You can get in the hot tub and overlook the pond. Super cool. That's really nice. I'm assuming since that's hot tub number 3, there's a couple more, so we'll have to keep our eyes open for them. And there's just a look over there at the other area, other campground look. And look at this view of the pond. This is gorgeous. I love this. Nice bench to sit down and just take in the scenery. So here are these other type of cabins down at this end. And these are really cool. I like those ones, way at the end. They're like literally right on the water. So these are, like the black, real attractive, modern, Nice lighting. This one to the right looks really large. And look at these. I really like these. These are directly on the water here. I would think that these cabins book up pretty quick. That's just my guess, because this is a really cool resort and campground. These two down here, they're my favorites because you won't have anybody walking in front of you on that path. You'll just have this view to yourself. So, I don't know. If I was renting a cabin, I think I'd want to stay there. I like that. And look at these nice fire pits and seating. And definitely check online. They have so many different styles of cabins here. I'm sure they have different layouts and, you know, can accommodate different amounts of people. So definitely check online to see what fits your family's needs the best. These are really cool back here too. And there again, here's the view of the pond in between these two cabins. So this one here is number 114. And I like the one to the right here too, just because they're just, I guess, more private, that you won't have people walking in front of you, if that even matters to you. All right, back here, these are nice. This is such a cool campground. I love all these cabins here. They've changed this place so much, because this used to be, you know, like tent sites and RV sites all back here. And behind these cabins, it's gorgeous scenery. I don't think anybody's in these cabins here. We'll just peek back here. I just want to show you how beautiful the scenery is behind these cabins as well. It's just Amish farms back here. So just tranquil settings everywhere you turn at Red Run Campground. Isn't that gorgeous back here? And there's some chickens right here in this little area. I see some hens walking around, and really nice. So you have the lake on the one side, and then you have all the farmland surrounding you on the other side. Right up here on the right, they have firewood for sale here, but this is also a laundry room. So they do have laundry facilities here as well. Some people are in there doing laundry, so I'm not going to go in, but that's a laundry area. And they also have electric vehicle charging stations here as well. And we found another hot tub area. This is hot tub number 2. So another cool spot for a hot tub. I don't know if we can get in here. Yeah, this door's not opening, but I think you know, yeah, I can't get in here, but I think you go around the other way, like the other one. It'll be facing out towards the pond. So there's hot tub number 2. So one more we have to find. This building here are bathrooms. So I guess these are the bathrooms for these RV sites here, because I forgot to mention the cabins that they have here do have their own private baths, which is nice. Look how nice these campsites are though. This whole group of campsites here, they overlook the farm fields. Like, it's gorgeous every which way you look. This campsite is 122, and it's directly next to the bathroom. So people may like that or may not like that. So I just wanted to point that out. And we'll just take a look at another site here. And again, look at you see the farms in the background. This one is 133. This site is the second to last from the end. So there's like this site, and then there's one more down there. So these RV sites, you have the farms on the one side, and then you have the beautiful pond on the other side. So, you know, just nice views on both sides, which is super cool. And I know sometimes they have live music and really fun activities for the kids and families. And here is the hot tub number 1. This one has the lights around it. I'm sure they all do, but this is hot tub number 1. And then we'll check out these cabins here. These are really nice too. Right on the water. These are nice and private as well. And look, here's a chicken coop with some hens. That's cool. Let's see the hens. Oh, and wait a minute. There's a sign. Free eggs. Free eggs. Help yourself. Wow. cool. From Red Run Campground. That is amazing. There's the hens and their feed and water. Hi, cuties. Hi. Hello, girls. Hi, girls. Hello, girls. Yeah, hi. I love chickens. And then here it says, for the fresh eggs, lift here. And oh, I'm sorry, there's one laying an egg. And look at the eggs. There's some eggs right here. So if you were staying at the campground, you could literally, I guess, grab a couple fresh eggs from their hens. That is so sweet. I've never seen anything like this before. Let's see in this one if there's anything. Oh no, it looks like they have this blocked off, so they're not laying in that section, just the first section. Isn't that awesome? That is so nice that they have that. I love stuff like that. It's like those little hidden things that you find, and I don't know, it's a really cool, nice thing, and it just makes me like this campground even more now. Okay, so these are the other cabins that we saw right before we went to the chicken coop, and I don't think there's anybody staying in these yet either, so we'll just peek up here real quick and look at the front. And again, beautiful pond view from these nice cabins. They have decks and fireplaces, or fire pits. So what a pretty view from here as well. Really nice. And there's the cabin's front porch. All right, so let's go and take a look at the covered bridge. I'll show you this Red Run covered bridge, which is one of the historic Lancaster County covered bridges. And this one is definitely needing some repair, and that's why you're not able to go in this bridge. They have it blocked off, but they're using this bridge for some storage. This bridge is called Red Run Covered Bridge, or also it's known as Oberholzer's Covered Bridge. So you might see it, if you're looking up covered bridge stuff, you might see it listed both ways there. This was built in around 1866, and now it's, a storage area. They have their tractors in there and stuff. And I'm not sure if Red Run Campground owns this bridge or if it's privately owned by somebody else. I think it's privately owned by somebody else, but I'm not 100% sure. Here's the signs: Martin Church Road and Red Run Road. Those are the road signs for the campground, and there's their sign that you'll see from the road when you're entering. Red Run Resort and Campground. Isn't this a peaceful setting here? You have so many neat things. You have the covered bridge, you have the beautiful pond and farm fields, and over here there's creeks. The creek we'll take a look at over here. There's a campsite that backs right up to the covered bridge, and then right over here are a couple more cabins that you can rent. And this address is New Holland. You're pretty close to Adamstown, which they have a ton of antique shops. You're close to Ephrata. Shady Maple's not far. So, you're in a pretty good spot for a lot of activities in Lancaster County, too. So I believe these are tent sites. This is site 13 and 14, and they are located right at the creek side. So we'll walk over here. There's the fire ring, and look at this beautiful creek. And you're able to fish from here, but you do need a fishing license if you want to fish. So another tranquil waterfront setting here that Red Run has. Isn't this great? I think they even have rubber ducky races in the creek for the kids. I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard that before. So I think that's so cool that they have some fun activities. Now over in the center here, they have a basketball court. They also have some, benches. And then over here, they have a playground for the kids and also a pickleball court. Nice playground. Now we'll take a walk down to the very end because there is another cabin I want to show you, and then here's some more RV and tent sites. Here's another cabin you can rent. RV sites are there to the left. And then we are down at the end, and there's this A-frame cabin you can rent that's directly on the creek. And this is at the end. There's another RV down there that it's at the very end, but this is also right at the ending spot of this loop. And this one is number 42 if you're interested in renting this cabin all the way down here, which is pretty cool. It's, you know, a little more private. It has a nice deck area with some chairs overlooking the creek. So what a great spot to sleep, listening to that creek all night. That would be amazing. And then right past the creek is more Amish farm fields. So just really beautiful scenery. Do a little fishing if you fish. Even if you don't fish, I could just sit here all day and just listen and watch the creek. And then there's that RV site all the way down there. So we'll walk back to the car. Here's some more RV sites. And they have nice fire pits for the RV sites. And there's a couple more things I just want to show you. Down here, they have these really nice horseshoe pits. And they have 2 sets of them. So they're real nice. Here's the one end, and then there's the other end. Right across from the horseshoe pits, there's the bathhouse for this camping loop. And then right over here to the right is where you check in. There's the office building, and that's the loop that we just came from. And here we are back from the beginning where we pulled in. There's the office where you check in directly in front of us. So I thought we would just get in the car and take a drive around the campground loops so I can show you all the different campsites. All right, here we go. There's the office area where you check in. So we'll just swing around here and we will drive through the campsites. There's the covered bridge, and that's where we're going to head around that loop there. I'm not going to drive around the cabin where the pond was because we basically walked that whole loop. But I did want to show you this loop here since we didn't, walk around everything. So there's the campsites right at the covered bridge, if you like that. There's the 2 cabins you can rent. And we'll just drive around here. So straight ahead is the creek, and I believe all of the sites along this creek side are the tenting sites. So there's a lot of campsites all along this creek area. This campground is also pet friendly, and I know there's a limit. I'm not you can look online. I thought it was like, you can have 2 dogs or something like that. But you can double check online for that. If you have more than 2 pets, you might just want to take a quick peek and see if you're allowed to have more than 2 pets. But I thought the limit was 2 dogs per site. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that one. And today is April 21st. And actually, there's somebody walking 2 dogs right now. What a lovely morning for a walk with your dogs. There's so many birds chirping, and it's just beautiful. But it's April 21st, and it's not real busy now. I know this place gets pretty busy in the summer. So, definitely reserve your spot as soon as possible, especially if you want. I would think the waterfront, like these creek side campsites, and also the ones around the lake would fill up first. So, I've been by here in the summer many times, and the place is, pretty busy. So definitely I would recommend reserving in as far in advance as possible. There's the other cabin that they rent. They do have a lot of different cabins, which is really cool. And then this is all creek to the right of us. So these are all the sites that are right on the creek front here. So there's a lot of them. that A-frame cabin is coming up down here on the right. That's the one we walked to, and that's right there to the right. So I like it down here too. It's pretty peaceful. And if you've stayed here at Red Run Campground and Resort, let us know how you enjoyed your stay. You know, it's so different now with the cabins and everything. So definitely, leave a comment. And there's the RV site where that person is right there to the right. That's like the farthest one down on this loop. So you have this loop right here where we just drove, and then right to the right is where the big pond is. So you have two loops next to each other. Well, I have to say, this campground is so nice. I really was surprised what a big change there is to this resort and campground now. It's definitely like a resort and campground, especially with the cabins. And it's just really nice and peaceful, and it just looks like a lot of fun things to do on the campground. And then, you're close enough to a lot of stuff in Lancaster County as well. You're out of the hubbub for sure. You're definitely out in a quiet area of Lancaster with all the Amish farms surrounding you. So, it's a win-win in my opinion here with this campground. It's a great spot, great location, really nice accommodations and campsites, and everything is nice and neat and updated. So definitely check out Red Run Campground, and you get free eggs here. I think that is the coolest thing. Besides the lakes and the creek, I think the free eggs is such a nice, sweet touch. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of Red Run Resort and Campground in New Holland. Have a great day, everyone. See you on the next one.